What is up? This is Team Dirty Decks. Welcome back to another video. Today we actually have a tournament match at our locals between myself and our other player Kush. We are playing Majin versus Zamasu. So I actually run unisons in this deck. Not everybody does, but I actually run the black unison, so I dropped a card right there to plus him 2. And then I dropped my Hatchak to mill another 2 because in this Boo deck it is very important for you to see all of your pieces in the drop area. So at the beginning you really just want to be dropping as many cards as you can, and that is why I combo my entire hand on the unison swing so that I can go ahead and just awaken. Because right now I am really trying to look for my pieces, because in this version of the deck I actually do not run the Searcher 1-drop Majin Boos, because I feel like if I keep my deck size low enough, I can always usually see my pieces if I just don't really care about my hand, and at the beginning of the game just get rid of my hand as quickly as possible. So that is exactly what I did. I used my activate main and dropped the hand that I just drew with my awakened side, and then when I pass you get another 5 cards. And he's going to take his turn. He's going to swing with leader at the unison so he can go ahead and get himself a draw. He's going to combo the draw monkey ape. Oh, my bad. I'm sorry. He's actually swinging at my leader right now. He changed his mind, actually. He swung at the leader. He comboed the ape to get to 15. And then also he's going to tap 2 and use that ape right now so he can draw his cards. Because I was pretty sure he was trying to draw his cards before my 6-drop came out, because I usually am able to see my 6-drop on turn 2. So I just checked my drop real quick and I made sure that I had an unparalleled absorption in there before I charged it. And I did, so I went ahead and charged that 5-drop. And I'm just going to go straight into the Bobbity play. We're going to drop the 2-drop so that the 2-drop Majin Buu comes out. With the Bobbity, if you have 2 or more energy, you can go ahead and just drop a card when it's summoned. And you can actually summon a 2-drop Majin Buu, a Deborah, or Pui Pui. But most of the time I'm only summoning Pui Pui or Majin Buu off of that effect. So I get in a swing lead with my 2-drop Majin Buu, swing the lead, and then I swing with my Bobbity because I know that I have a super combo in my hand, and of course it's a 15k because you're dropping so many cards in this deck that usually that super combo is always maxed out at 15. So he will combo out, he'll get another draw ape into the drop area, and he's going to use a super combo to switch out one of his energy so he can restand one. Unfortunately, that draw ape is not going to probably be used because as soon as I go into the 6-drop, you're not allowed to draw from your deck outside of leader effects anymore. And it looks like he is going to go ahead and negate my leader swing. He's not trying to take too many hits. And then with All Too Easy, you can also bounce a 1-drop back to your hand. And this was actually a misplay by me. I should have swung with my unison first instead of using my leader effect to drop the Bobbity, because I could have just gotten more out of it if I would have swung with my unison first, because I at least would have comboed another card, but he would have taken the hit regardless, so it doesn't really matter. But that is just something to think about for next time. So I go ahead and swing with the 4-drop. He takes a hit, and the 4-drop is a dual attack, so I swing again. And this is really what I love about this deck, because it's super Oonga Boonga. You can just keep swinging. So now he's asking, he's like, wait a second, you can get the 6-drop on turn 2? And I'm like, yeah, the only stipulation is actually on the 5-drops. The 5-drops, you need 3 energy to be able to play those, but you can get the 6-drop out on turn 2. So this really shows the Majin Buu deck is kind of a rogue deck right now. I know it was very heavily played during the set 9 period, but now you don't really see the Majin Buu deck a lot. And it actually shows that, like, if you don't know how to play against this Majin Buu deck, if you don't know how to disrupt the chain, then it is very aggressive, it is very oppressive, and it really sucks dealing with it. And you'll see that in a second, because he was asking, he's like, wait, you haven't swung with unison yet? Because so many swings had already come at him, and I was like, no, I haven't swung with the unison yet. I left it untapped because you can't tap a unison with a Zamasu super combo, so I felt safe keeping it up. And as you can see on turn 2, I got him down to 1 life. I'm still at 6 life right now, so I am sitting very pretty. I was feeling pretty good at this point because he only has 1 life left, so all I need is to get 1 damage through now. And with all of his draw power offline, this deck really suffers because the way that my friend has built his deck is he has always so many cards in his hand because he just uses energy for draw apes and like is always pumping his hand. But with the 6-drop, you can't draw like outside of leader effects. So the only time he can draw is off of his leader swing. So he uses his he drops an energy to give his leader dual attack right here, so that he can get some kind of draw power going. And I guess he didn't want to give up more card advantage that he was already losing in. So I guess I can see why he didn't immediately swing to the 6-drop, but in my head, I would have just immediately started trying to get rid of that 6-drop because you know that I only have 5 cards in hand. But I was prepared with a negate. I actually did have a power burst in my hand just in case like he started trying to swing heavy at my 6-drop. So he decides to just start trying to clear my unison, or at least get it down to lower markers so I can't activate the -4 effect. So if I remember correctly, I think he does both leader swings into the unison. Yes, he does. Okay, yeah, so he's going to do both swings into the unison. Unison's going to drop down to 3 markers. And then he will also swing with Zeno, because why not? That unison is only a 5k, so you might as well swing with everything that you got. And then he's going to go ahead and pass. And at this point in the match, I was pretty sure that I had game, or I was going to have game on turn 4. Like if I didn't win this turn. Because I knew that I wasn't going to be able to go into another Boo Chain this turn, because he had Zeno on the field, and I was pretty sure he had God Sealing in his hand, so he could have just stopped my Boo Chain if he wanted to. So instead, I go into Koitsukai because I know that Heroic Prospect is also a thing. So I go ahead and like remove Koitsukai from the game, and I bottom 1 card and then draw 1, so that I'm pretty sure he's going to drop Heroic Prospect right here on my 6-drop swing, so even if I did go into another chain, I can't swing with the 5-drops and the 6-drop at the end. And yes, he does. So, of course, like, because blue, you got to run that card. It's a very good card. So, he goes ahead and activates Heroic Prospect, so now I cannot swing with anything with a higher energy cost than my current energy, which kind of shuts most of my chain off. Like, basically, right now, I only have 3 energy, so it shuts off my entire chain. So instead, I just go ahead and swing with my leader, and I know that it's going to be pretty easy to combo out of it. He's awakened, so all he needs to do is drop 1 card. But he goes ahead, heads into Dimension Magics it, so he can restand his energy. I swing with my unison. And this was unfortunate because I think he was out of negates, or maybe he was trying to save them, but I did happen to have a super combo in my hand, so now that is a 35k swing that he has to combo out of, and he's already losing in hand advantage. So to get out, he uses a super combo, an Oboni, and a 10k. So that gets him out of it. That puts him at 40. And then I have 1 card left in my hand, and I just go ahead and hard cast Pui Pui, because I'm setting up for next turn. So that, like, since I wasn't able to finish him this turn, I was pretty sure I'm going to swing with Pui Pui, but I'm pretty sure that I'm not getting through this turn. Which was actually kind of dumb. I shouldn't have swung with the Pui Pui, because he could have easily started swinging at the Pui Pui for next turn. But I just figured that I had it because I was in such an advantageous situation at this point. So I just went ahead and swung with the Pui Pui. But I was having that on the field just in case he had his God Sealing technique. I was planning on going into another chain next turn, and then he wouldn't have been able to counterplay any of the chain, because Pui Pui's effect is that it prevents your opponent from playing counterplays as long as you have 2 cards or less in your hand, which you can easily manipulate your hand because of the leader effect being so powerful, where you can just drop any card that you want. He goes and casts his baby unison, gets rid of the Zeno, and then he drops an energy to give his leader dual attack. And then this is the point where I'm asking if he drew, because I was messing with the camera. So there was a little cut in the video. But I was asking if he drew off of the unison effect, and I said, no, you can't draw off the unison effect because that's like outside of a leader effect. So then he has to put a card back. And is he going to combo? So yeah, he combos his leader up to 20. I just combo out with Koitsukai. I just combo up to 25. And then he swings at him again. And at this point, I'm wondering if he's going to combo more. But it wouldn't be that smart because he's already out of energy. So he can't really do anything else to draw anyways. And he goes ahead and combos away the Heroic Prospect, because I could just take that away from him anyways on the next turn, because the leader effect, you can also just drop a card to take control of a 3-drop and just put it under your leader. So I untap everything, play the 4th energy, and now that I have Pui Pui on the field, I know that I'm like pretty safe, so I'm just going to go ahead and start swinging. He's going to use his last energy to Heroic Prospect, and I realized right here, I was like, oh crap, I forgot to activate Koitsukai, because I put Koitsukai in the drop area so that I could activate it again for the Heroic Prospect, so he'd have to warp 2 more cards. But, you know, it's whatever. Like, I was already, like, pretty far up, so I still felt alright. And then I swing with the leader, and that actually just was a 25k swing, but he just did not have the cards to combo out. He literally only had 2 cards left in hand, so he was literally unable to combo out, and then Majin Buu took the victory.